Hello, public opinion aficionados, and welcome to Rasmussen Reports, pretty much the only pollster who is still out there polling about things in the news while everybody else went back to the bullpen to wait it out for another 3 years. And there really is a lot of interesting stuff happening. But what's crazy is it just doesn't seem to be that dire. It seems like people went back to watching football. People are talking about, I don't know, maybe Gladiator 2 or whatever. And people are watching Trump's cabinet picks with fascination. But it's almost like the mainstream media laser pointer is completely broken. Like it was defeated by Twitter on November 5th, 2024, because let me tell you, they're on the ropes. But today's video is about Trump's cabinet picks, and we're going to see how voters react when they finally seem to be getting what they've been voting for a very long time. But as always, a few things first. If you haven't seen the last video, go check it out. I kind of got into a little bit of a Twitter fight. Well, it's pretty one-sided, and he basically, Nate Silver hid and hasn't responded at all because I leveled some pretty direct questions wondering why his aggregate, which is supposed to unskew polls, is actually adding left-leaning bias to make it look like Kamala Harris had a better chance than she actually did. So go check that video out if you haven't already. But let's check in on the ratio. This is, he wrote this vapid article in the New York Times, the paper of record, don't you know? And in anger, I responded off the cuff. And right now we're sitting at 2.5 thousand likes to 1.1 thousand likes. Not bad considering I only have 75,000 Twitter followers and he has 3.4 million. But here's the thing. We are the media now. Independent, trusted sources have supplanted credibility, authority, corporations, the status quo. It is really wild. It's really new out there. And I actually went on Crowder today to talk about it. If you haven't seen it, you really should. I had a fun segment, never been on a show before. There was some really deep information, but also some jokes, some bants, and I actually called Nate a lol cow. Here's the clip. Love for you to go take a look at it. But here's what I'm talking about. Look at Twitter trends. It's okay. People talking about NFL, but all this politics stuff just doesn't have the same kind of bite it did back in October when the mainstream media was waging an information war to do everything possible to get Kamala Harris over the hump. RFK Jr. apologizes for past Trump, whatever. Yeah, good for him. Gates resigns, but elected. Will he return to Congress? I don't know. It's interesting to see what's going to happen after Gates dropped out. But that one was crazy because the news cycle seemed to last like a half hour. Everybody's like, oh, Gates dropped out. And then Trump put his tweet out and everybody's like, cool. What's your next pick? And Trump dropped a new pick. Gates eyes Rubio Senate seat. Yeah, good. Trump elected president. Harris still top choice for Democrats. Oh, yeah, that's a funny one, too. We did some other polling. Maybe I'll do a video about it. But, yeah, they have no bench. The Democrats are really demoralized right now. There is no clear successor to the throne after Kamala Harris. And listen, she was not a good candidate. And I've said it before. I only partly think it was her fault. A lot of this was just a referendum against the federal government. But they have a lot of soul searching to do. What is their new platform going to be going forward? Is it still going to be the party of the California liberal elites, or are they going to adopt more policies friendly to the middle class? Maybe things that are a lot less anti-American, anti-religious, anti-traditionalism. We'll see. Yeah, whatever. Jussie Smollett. It's like none of this stuff seems crisis. It's like a giant weight was lifted off the country's shoulders. Let's see what the media mouthpieces are saying. I mean, yeah, they're coming out against Gates, something about Linda McMahon. I don't know. It's like half-hearted. Look, they're trotting out Nikki Haley because she's jealous. She issues a sharp rebuke of Trump's controversial pick for spy chief. Oh, maybe she wanted that job. We're going to see again, like I said, what voters think. They just can't keep up with what's going on. MSNBC, Matt Gaetz withdraws. Trump's popular vote lead is shrinking by he doesn't have a mandate. Like, nobody's listening to these people. It's not driving what people talk about anymore. This is all just bitching about Trump's cabinet picks and, being sore losers. And here's the thing. Fox News Channel makes history as MSNBC, CNN continue to implode since Election Day. MSNBC posts lowest rated week in over 25 years. And good for you, Fox News, snagging 72% of the very, in my opinion, shrinking primetime cable news audience, because our polling has showed over and over again that more people, especially people 18 to 39, are getting their news from independent online sources. And here's where we're at. Comcast to spin off cable networks, including MSNBC and CNBC. And it's like, okay, maybe they're trying to set them up for success. But according to Bill O'Reilly, that's it. They're pulling the plug. They don't want NBC affiliated with these hateful propagandists on MSNBC. And I think the same thing is probably playing out in newsrooms across America. Like ABC really got tarnished this time. O'Reilly postulates that maybe even the ladies on The View might fall prey to a realignment. But here's our story today. Trump's cabinet. Voters expect Senate to confirm most picks. Yeah, because Trump got a mandate. Here are the numbers, and these are really fresh, basically just from this week. Survey of almost 1,300 U.S. likely voters in general. How would you rate the job that Trump is doing in picking people for his administration? And if you've been following us for a long time, you know that with these rate the job somebody's doing, you get very, very, very few excellence and goods, especially in, again, how divisive this environment is. I was saying that there was a post-election response bias where Trump support shot up majorly in our polls. It's actually gone now. Unweighted for the 2024 recall vote. This is actually only a Trump plus 5 sample. And yet 35% of voters say excellent. When we ask people to rate, Joe Biden on foreign policy or Kamala Harris on the border czar, you see a number in the teens here. That's a really high number. Another 15% say good. So half of America says that Trump is doing excellent or good in picking people for his administration. Only 36% say poor. Again, Donald Trump usually gets 38, 39, 40% very unfavorable, and a 36% poor, 10% fair. I mean, you can figure out what you think fair means, but it's not poor. And look at it, across the board, it's about the same with age. So even the 18 to 39-year-olds looking at independent news, even the 65, these are the people that are still watching Fox News. All the MSNBC and CNN people bounce. Maybe they switch channels. But yeah, flat across the age spectrum, white is basically in line with all likely voters. But black voters, 46%, say that Trump has done an excellent or good job. Meanwhile, the Democrat propaganda mouthpiece are trying to smear, like we just saw, pretty much every single one of them with some kind of, sexual situation. 57% of Hispanic voters say excellent or good based. Even 26% of Democrats say excellent or good, 61% say poor. When we ask Republicans to rate Biden on anything, we usually see like 70, 80% poor rating. But here's the number that counts. And listen, Republicans have been really spurned by the establishment Republicans. They've asked for things over and over again. Border security, accountability in government spending and government shutdowns. They have not gotten any of that stuff. Congress has not delivered for Republicans, but that's why they voted for Trump. Because, in my opinion, this number tells me that Republican voters are resoundingly saying that Trump is delivering what they voted for. 61% say excellent. Democrats never got anywhere near 61% for anything on Biden. 22% say good. 83% of Republicans rate the job that Trump is doing excellent or good. Here's my advice to the Senate. Give Trump the people that he's asking for, because Americans are eating it up. Now, 38% of independents say poor, but a combined total of 44% say excellent or good. They're basically probably not paying attention. That's sort of split. Does anything else stick out here? Yeah, liberals absolutely hate the job. This is how you know you're winning. Liberals hate the job that Donald Trump is doing. But like Democrats, it wasn't that bad. So this is really a shock to mainstream leftist progressive dogma. They know that Trump is coming for accountability. This is absolutely wild. Yeah, people with incomes over 200, not too happy either. Maybe they're afraid of the stock market. Maybe they don't like the idea of tariffs. Maybe the idea of woke generals being fired. I don't know. and graduate degree people. Also, the least here, this really is the president of the people and not the elite. But look at Biden approvals. Okay, not as bad as liberals, but they really don't like what they're seeing here. Even the somewhat approves. But yeah, 84% among Joe Biden's strongest approvers, excellent or good. Now, also, this one's fascinating to me because just a month ago, the people who said the country was in the right direction were people who were happy with Harris potentially winning and Biden being in the Oval Office. And they would have been rating Donald Trump absolutely horribly here. But in the last 3 weeks, there's been a complete reversal. Now Republicans are much more likely to say the country is in the right direction, and Democrats are more likely to say the country's on the wrong track. So this one's wild. They've already hunkered down and prepared themselves what another 4 years of Trump is going to be like, and they're not. People who now think the country's on the wrong track are not liking these picks. How likely is it that the Senate will confirm most of Trump's cabinet choices? Now, these people are not watching the Rick Scott versus John Thune, John Cornyn situation there. They don't understand how votes are whipped or in general, what the margin is in the Senate. But in my opinion, the fact that 74%, 3/4 of voters expect that it's likely that Trump will get his cabinet choices, this is a very strong signal that voters acknowledge that Trump has some kind of mandate. 37% say very likely. Only 5% think it's not at all likely. This is not a sign that people want or expect the Republican Senate to dig in and fight Trump. And again, really high marks across the board. There really isn't a gender, age, or race signal. Even Democrats, even 67% of Democrats think that Trump's going to get his cabinet choices. But look at this. Okay, Republican senators, let me tell you this. We've gotten a first night of favorability marks back. I took a look at John Thune. A lot of people don't know who he is, but a lot of Republicans do. And the initial look shows that he's got pretty good favorability numbers compared to Mitch McConnell, but not good. John Thune, if you want to keep your favorability numbers positive, if you want them to go up, do not fight Donald Trump on his cabinet picks. Make sure they get passed, because 51% of Republicans think it's very likely they are right now. Another 38%, at least somewhat. That's 90%. That's almost 90%. They expect to get what they want because they crawled over broken glass to vote for Donald Trump. You should not be the person standing between them and what they've been waiting through the Biden administration for. Just my advice. But what do I know? I'm only a mere pollster. So I don't know. Things are looking up. Donald Trump's been promising everybody a new golden age. And I'll have to say, people are, at least in my opinion, kind of open to the idea, but we're not there yet. Consumer confidence is shooting up, and there's a total realignment of how people are viewing the next 4 years. It looks like the mainstream media, some of them will either be dead or maybe introspective about their roles and really bringing America to peak hatred and peak psychological operations. But like I said, it just doesn't feel like any of it has any bite anymore. And probably they need to be applauded for taking that all out into their echo chambers. I mean, it looks like people have stopped dunking on all the insane videos of people shaving their heads and screaming and stuff. You really got to go and look for it. I'm kind of bored and don't know what to do with my time. But now, since, mainstream advertisers are returning to Twitter, people are probably going to acknowledge our accuracy more. Maybe we'll get more business, because I would really love to poll more about public opinion in America and help some of these people who have been ignoring it move the Overton window back in an insane direction. So if you're part of an organization and you're watching this and you want to help the country back itself off the brink, make sure you reach out to us at info@rasmussenreports.com. I'd love to talk to you. We have great rates and an excellent track record. And for everybody else watching this, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube or Rumble, follow us on Twitter at Rasmussen_poll. You can follow me too at Mark_R_Mitchell. And thanks for watching.